Hello and welcome to the FanFiction Book Club podcast, a weekly podcast that explores the good, the bad, and the cringy of fanfiction, hosted by me, Ollie, and my lovely co-hosts, SG.
Hey.
Poppy.
Hey.
And Tstan.
Hello.
Every month, we scour the internet to bring you 4 different fanfic reads, and our theme this month is Star Wars. Check out our website at fanfictionbookclub.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at fanfictionados for the full lineup of stories for the month and to connect with us on the web. The fanfic we are discussing this week is Naruto, the Future Jedi Grandmaster by Lucario. Is that like a Pokemon reference?
Yes, that is definitely a Pokemon.
I knew I was gonna butcher that.
It's lucarioacero, and they're Pokemon characters that people apparently ship.
All right, lucarioacero on Wattpad.com. This work was written in an unknown date because I guess Wattpad doesn't say when things are published, but I'm assuming it's probably written like 2019 since the comments were like from 2019 and 2020. And the word count is also unknown because Wattpad, I guess, only shows the chapters or parts of the story.
It's long.
It's a long
Just
story.
say that.
It's long. I would probably say like it's 30K. Is that
probably just under 30K?
Yeah. So it's pretty long for Wattpad or any kind of fanfic read. But the tags for this story is all 7 forms Naruto and Anakin X Padme, Ashoka. Am I saying Ashoka right? Is it Ashoka?
Yes.
I thought it was Ahsoka.
Ahsoka?
I honestly don't know.
I've been saying Ashoka, so I'm going to continue saying
think
Ashoka.
it's Ahsoka.
Ashoka. I'm going to say Ashoka. I can't say that.
There's no SH. It's AHS. Ahsoka.
Oh.
There's an SH in there.
No, yeah, there's an ASH. I think then the author has been spelling it wrong.
They spelled all kinds of things wrong.
Yeah, there's a few grammatical issues. Yes, I will.
Oh yeah, okay, they did spell it wrong.
It's Ahsoka.
Okay. But for the sake of this story, I'm going to say it how she says it and say Ashoka.
Oh God.
So Ashoka X Naruto, Master Mace Windu, Master Yoda, Naruto friends with Anakin, non-dark Anakin, OP Ashoka, OP Anakin, OP Naruto, overpowered Naruto. All right, so the author's summary: Naruto Uzumaki, an orphan of a battle between a lost Mandalorian clan and a group of turned Jedi. His mother was a Jedi that left the order because she fell in love with a descendant of Tar Vizsla, Minato Namikaze. The group of turned Jedi that was hunting her were people who saw her as a threat. After the battle, Yoda left the temple to pick him up and bring him back to the temple. Watch as Naruto becomes the greatest Jedi ever and his adventure to true strength and his life. P.S. Some things will be different from the original Star Wars. The Clone Wars will last 10 years instead of 3, and the Jedi Order will be changed drastically.
So, in their description, they said they go find Naruto to pick him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they did
like
pick him up.
Like a soccer mom?
Yeah, they show up in their minivan, be like, hey, get in! But before I really go into the story, I think we need to talk about Naruto, the anime, because the story I picked out was, the main character was Naruto Uzumaki, set in the Star Wars universe. I'm very curious about your guys' views on Naruto, because like I grew up watching Naruto and it's like more of like a nostalgic anime to me. And I love Naruto, but the Naruto in this story is very different than the Naruto
oh my goodness,
in the anime.
This isn't even Naruto. This is like
It
literally a Mary Sue. Literally a
Yes,
Mary Sue.
that's what I was gonna say.
So what are all of your opinions and thoughts on Naruto?
On the show?
Yeah, on Naruto the anime.
Or Naruto the fandom.
Or the fandom. All the above.
Yeah, I mean, like you, Ollie, I grew up with Naruto, and we have had conversations about that show, and I know we both really enjoyed it. Yeah, I followed it through Naruto, Shippuden, and then all the craziness that happened after that, and I tried watching Boruto, but it's just like a little too young for me. I heard it gets better, but I haven't gotten to the point where it gets better yet. So, yeah, I'm into the series. This was not Naruto.
This absolutely was not.
This was
Naruto.
only Naruto in name and the fact that he had the Rasengan.
Right.
And used it in a weird way.
And my thing was that Naruto, like, who he was his very comedic character. And there was absolutely no comedy or funny scenes at all in this. It was very serious.
Yeah, and the other thing for people who don't really know the series, Naruto is a character who he came from something, but he lost his family. So he's like absolutely nothing growing up. He means nothing to people. They're afraid of him because he has this power inside of him that can destroy them. And his whole like character arc is that he's crazy and silly and very headstrong because he acts out to get attention. And he's the only one who's really believing in himself growing up. So there's a lot of willpower to him. And he's not really smart. He just has determination. I mean, as he gets older, he's smarter, but he's not this prodigy. He's a kid trying to harness this power however he can, but he doesn't have a lot of the skills and the mastery of things that his peers does, so he just works really hard to make things happen. And in this, well, I don't know, am I getting ahead of myself? It just seems like he could do everything.
Yeah.
He was a Mary Sue.
He was a total Mary Sue. Yeah, so this is only Naruto in name.
Yeah, I have to add here, I have bad experiences with Naruto.
What bad experience?
I was part of the fandom about 2011, 2010. And it was not a good place in my life, if I'm honest.
What did they do?
No, just in general, maybe it was my corner that I stumbled upon, but it always felt very toxic.
I mean, it's a pretty big fandom, and there's some hardcore fans out there.
There's a lot of different corners of it. I mean, I've always, pretty much in everything I've consumed, except for Doctor Who and Criminal Minds, I'm a casual fan.
Yeah.
So,
and
I didn't go deep in the forums.
And, like, I'm not, a super giant big fan of Naruto, but it was just, such, that's what I was super into as a young kid.
Yeah.
I think it came out in, when I was in 6th grade, and I'd come home at, 8 p.m. because it aired on, 8 p.m. on Toonami, I think, or something like that. And then I'd, watch it, and it's my routine every, whatever day came on.
Yeah.
And then I kind of grew out of it, and then I got back into it again, and I grew out of it. And then I tried watching Shippuden again. I think that's how you say it, Shippuden or Shippuden.
Yeah,
a few months back, but it's interesting, now as an adult watching it, it's not as, it's very, I think its audience is younger, but it has very mature themes, which I think what draws a lot of people to it. But there's a lot of fight scenes that will go on through, 7 episodes.
I mean, but that's just, shonen anime, though. Is they just have, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they had fight scenes that went on for, 7 episodes. Or,
and that's
someone
what
was
drew me out of it.
powering up for 7 episodes, and it's really? How many episodes does it take to create a spirit bomb and hit a guy with it? Come on. Someone should just punch you in the stomach while you're gathering all this energy.
And that's why I mainly will watch like drama type animes, because like I like the dramatic scenes, or like, you know, when the characters just talking or they're eating ramen. Like those are my favorite scenes in Naruto, not the like fighting for the 7 episodes.
I mean, I like the fight scenes. They're pretty cool, but they don't need to go on as long as they do. Like, yes, there's some time there that they could cut out. Because some of it's them, they're all just standing and thinking at each other. But you have to sit through it.
Yeah, but I will say, in this story, Naruto, he doesn't really put on airs. Like, he's strong and he acts strong, while in the anime, Naruto is very strong, but he's not the most skilled fighter.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And he's nothing like he is in the canon is how he is here. But no, Poppy, what do you know about Naruto?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do you know who Naruto is?
I know who Naruto is. I know that, there's a guy named Sasuke, I think?
Yes.
Because SG was obsessed with Sasuke.
Love Sasuke.
Talk about Sasuke. And that's the only thing I know about Naruto, are those 2 characters' names, and that's it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah.
Well, the good thing about this story is that, like, it doesn't really follow any kind of plot or character from Naruto, just uses Naruto's name. And there's no other reference, really, to Naruto the anime.
I assume, other than that, like, blue thing, that, like, blue hand fire thing, I guess.
The weird thing is it's not even fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just chakra energy that manifests physically. But that's me getting into my Naruto nerd phase.
Yeah.
But another crossover, Ollie, I was going to text you about it, but I totally forgot. I was watching Criminal Minds the other day, and Yuri Lowenthal was on an episode, and Yuri Lowenthal is the voice actor for Sasuke on Naruto.
Oh. Wait, what?
Yeah, that actor, he's a voice actor, but he does live action stuff too sometimes. And I was like, this guy looks really familiar. And then I saw the credits and I'm like, that was Yuri Lowenthal, that's Sasuke. Sasuke and Derek Morgan were in the same room together.
Oh my god.
I know,
that's
right?
That's crazy. I did not know Sasuke's voice actor was a physical in-person actor.
Well, I don't think he does IRL acting very often, but Yuri Lowenthal, he also did I think he did Ben 10's voice too.
Oh, Ben 10.
And Ben 10 Alien Force.
Whatever happened to that show? That was good.
Yuri Lowenthal has been in everything and will continue to be in everything.
In like every video game I play, he's somebody, even if it's like guy number 4. That guy knows how to get jobs. Yeah. You're like, did I hear Sasuke when I punched that guy in the face? Yeah. So, another crossover.
I was going to say this is a crossover, or would you consider this like an alternate universe?
I consider this that's tricky. It kind of feels like I don't know that I even call it either.
Like, I feel like this is just a Star Wars OC who just happens to be named Naruto.
Yeah, Poppy, that's a good way of putting it. That's kind of how I'm reading it.
Because I was like...
Because he was the only character. I thought, like, it would be Naruto and Sasuke would be, like, the Anakin in this story, but it was literally just Naruto and Anakin were buddies.
Right.
Just weird.
And I honestly thought that Naruto and Anakin were gonna get with each other, and then they both got their own. They
kind of made it almost like that because they're like growing up together. They're best friends.
Vibes.
Right.
It's like, we're gonna get that Naruto Sasuke sexual tension here.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna put Anakin more in line to Sasuke, but they didn't. Very different dynamics.
Well, I didn't even know that there really was a dynamic.
Between
like
the two.
They were just in the same room together a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the author just kind of said they were buddies, but I don't know that they ever had, like, a real conversation.
This story is the definition of tell, don't show.
Yes.
Yes.
This story
They're
is
just
definitely
like,
the definition.
And then this happened, and then this happened, and then they were
Right.
friends, and everything was fine, and then there was the Clone Wars, and then they got married, but that was in between scenes, so you don't even get to see them fall in love or interact or
It's
anything.
like
You don't
10
even get
years.
to see the Clone Wars happen.
No.
And it's like, dude.
Should we recap the plot
Yes.
before we
Yes.
get into any more of this? Okay.
Okay. So I'll just kind of go through kind of the main things that happened in this story, which was kind of uneventful in itself. But so essentially the story is made up of 4 parts, and there's the prologue and the 3 chapters. The author sets up the story as like a timeline of events of Naruto's early years and kind of navigates the story of him maturing and growing stronger and more powerful as he grows up. So the story starts off when Naruto's a really young boy. He's like 5 years old, and his parents are murdered in front of him, which triggers Naruto to spontaneously release like this immense force, which is powerful enough to alert the attention of Yoda and Mace Windu, the Grandmasters in the Jedi Order. So Yoda finds and brings Naruto to the Jedi Temple, where he plans to have him trained to be like a skillful Jedi. Yoda dubs Naruto as like the chosen one, which I guess in the like OG Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker is like supposed to be the chosen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of his midichlorian count. Whatever that is.
That's sure. And then and Anakin Skywalker in this, he's actually like a good guy in the story, and he and Naruto are like really close friends, and they bond over like their traumatic past. And they were both discovered and sent to the Jedi Temple like right about the same time, and both were pretty similar in the force that they had. They're like pretty up there. But Yoda had given Naruto this chosen one title because, unlike Anakin, Naruto had the like self-confidence and the natural instinct of a chosen one, and apparently Anakin did not. So the story goes on, and the author is pretty much reiterating that at every stage of Naruto's life, he's just getting stronger and getting more powerful, and he's special because he has like 2 lightsabers, I think, and one's like white and black, which is pretty much
Ollie,
unheard of.
You missed the part where the author went in and explained all of the forms of lightsaber combat.
Yes, they explained pretty good detail, which I think is pretty in line with like, I guess this is all like factual to Star Wars, because like I didn't know what these were.
I don't know. I didn't.
And
read
I'm like,
them.
okay.
I just skimmed. When I realized, I'm like, wait, they're gonna go through every single form of lightsaber combat. I'm skipping this part.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
Right. But like for me, because like I don't know anything about Star Wars, it was helpful because pretty much the whole story is like Naruto's mastering this level of lightsaber combat, and then he masters this one, and so that's like in chapter 1 going into where they explain, I think it was in chapter 1 where they start explaining the lightsaber combat, and Mace Windu takes Naruto as a Padawan apprentice and helps him through his apprenticeship, and he gets trained in all the 7 forms of lightsaber combat. And to my understanding, like a Jedi doesn't have to master all of the forms, but Naruto, because he's just so strong, he continues to stay as a Padawan. think that's pretty much all chapter 1 is just him training and becoming stronger. And then by chapter 2, Naruto was officially a Jedi Knight, and he graduated alongside with Anakin. Naruto, I think by chapter 2, he's about like 15 years old, and he and Anakin are like BFFs, and they're pretty well respected by everybody in the Jedi Order. Naruto is becoming more experienced with blaster pistols and blades and other things.
He's cementing his position as a Mary Sue, is essentially what's happening.
Yeah. And then Naruto is introduced to Ashoka, as the author writes her name as ASH when it's supposed to be AOSOKA.
It's
Ahsoka.
AHSOKA. Ahsoka.
Yeah. Ahsoka. But the author writes Ashoka, right? I'm not making that up.
The author used both.
Oh, it's used. Okay, so that's why I'm confused. Like, I like, in my mind, I keep saying Ashoka, so I'm never going to say it correctly now. But Naruto is introduced to Ashoka, who is his love interest in the story. And I had to Google who she was, but she is one of the game characters.
Even though the author put a helpful picture of what she looked like in the fiction.
Yeah, the author definitely has a few photos to make reference to.
Yeah, so for listeners, if you read this on Wattpad, they were so kind to share photos.
So nice.
Of the characters.
Which I didn't mind the photos. It's like a picture book, you know?
The other Ahsoka photo is the one that was...
Like, I didn't... Like, it's weird, but to, like, put pictures into your writing, but I feel like I should save my thoughts for when we get done with the plot part.
Yes.
So I'll shut up now.
Yeah. But yeah, so the author provides photos of some of the characters, like their clothing or what the lightsabers look like. But yeah, so Naruto develops feelings for this chick, and they are put into a group together when they become
whatever the next phase is.
Yeah.
Because they're not knights yet.
No.
Or I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening.
There was just so much going on, and also nothing going on at the same time.
Like, nothing. So much going on, nothing.
But
really.
some stuff goes down, and
things are happening.
And then Naruto and Ahsoka are on a ship together.
Yeah.
For some reason, they're going to the Clone Wars, I guess.
Wars.
And then they become closer and they get romantic, and then so does Anakin and Padme. They become.
Do you want to read the part where Naruto and Ahsoka get romantic?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
So while Ollie's looking, I had to remind myself about the pictures. That second one.
I told you guys, the second Ahsoka picture, I'm like, really?
I'm losing my mind over here. I just want you guys to know that. Oh god. Okay.
But I don't know, do we want to read the part where he looks at her butt, or the part where they have that weird conversation?
Where like they're like describing each body or something.
Where is that?
Like
I think it's in part 2.
Yeah, go from entering through his room.
Entering through his room was Ahsoka. Over the past 3 days, Naruto and Ahsoka had gotten closer than before, with them having multiple conversations while becoming comfortable with each other's presence and declaring each other as friends. We are about to arrive to Kamino. We should get in the cockpit. Ahsoka said to Naruto. Nodding, Naruto stood up and followed her to the pilot room. While walking, Naruto made the mistake of looking down at her well-developed behind. It seemed to sway hypnotically and keep his attention. Naruto didn't judge a woman on appearance, but he still appreciates the womanly figure. Ahsoka was a naturally born beauty and had the curves in just the right places. High C-cup breasts that are often held back by her outfit. And finally, her beautiful behind. Ahsoka didn't feel Naruto scoping her up, which is good. Ahsoka wouldn't have scolded him if she had caught him anyway. During their previous conversations in the past 3 days, and when they bumped into each other before the mission, Ahsoka had gained an appreciative look on his body as well. Ahsoka was many things, beautiful, kind, skilled, to name a few, but a hypocrite was not one of them. Naruto had the most fit physique of all male knights, and some other females in the Jedi Order gained crushes on him, and herself included, although she wouldn't tell him that. Naruto had strong, muscled arms that were slightly big, a pair of fit legs that can do just as much heavy lifting as his arms, and a six-pack on his torso to finish it off. His sapphire blue eyes gained a lot of attention, as well as his sun-kissed blonde hair, making most females to want their hands to run through his head. And finally, his whisker marks on his cheeks that every female in the temple wanted to scratch them.
Okay, so my thing is, so this is like 2 chapters in, which
Right.
And there's a prologue. So it's 3 parts in, and they're all very long parts. Like, and Naruto has been described before.
Yes.
Why is he getting described again now? And I think he gets described again in the next chapter as well.
Yeah,
he does.
In more detail.
What's happening?
Just in case you forgot, this is what he looks like.
I think the description of Naruto is longer than the recap of the Clone Wars that we never saw.
And the Clone Wars goes on for 10 years in this fic. I don't know if it does in the whatever, but the canon, but in this fic, it goes on for 10 years.
And we don't see any of it.
We don't see any of it.
It does not do that in the canon. In fact, it's part of the description of the story. The Clone Wars only lasted 3 years.
Okay, I didn't remember.
Not another 7 years to a war that we don't get to see.
Yeah, we get to see nothing. All we get to see is that they've matured and their clothing has changed to show that...
That's spoilers for the next chapter.
No, the author just goes into so much detail about what people are wearing, but they don't go into detail about anything else.
Which is weird, because this is like what people were writing in the mid-2000s for fanfic. This
is fairly current.
And if this is supposedly in 2019, like, what has this person been doing with their life? Like, they have not been reading the current fanfic trends. Because this is not how people write these days.
I don't know if it's just showing, like, maybe this author is younger, and, you know, when you like certain characters, you want to develop them more, and maybe that's what they were trying to do, developing their character by describing them multiple times.
That's not how you develop a character. You develop a character through experiences.
Well, clearly this person hasn't taken a creative writing course.
I haven't taken a creative writing course. Oh wait, that's a lie.
That is a lie.
We took a course together. Never mind.
Yeah, this person is probably like 12.
Yeah.
Does a 12-year-old have that level of understanding of the 7 forms of lightsaber combat, though?
You'd be surprised.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they copied and pasted.
I could believe that. They took it from the Wikipedia.
I thought it was funny how certain, like, they would put quotes around things and italicize it.
I think the italicized
the lightsaber
stuff
combat bit
was information and then flashbacks is what I just assumed all the italicized stuff was.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going with this plot. We're
Okay.
almost done.
Okay, so they're on the boat. There's the ship.
Right.
And then chapter 3 comes and 10 years pass.
No, you didn't finish chapter 2.
What else happened?
They're on the ship and they travel to a place and they have to fight some guy named Dooku in a factory. And then somehow Anakin was captured and they have to, like, save him. And then that's when Anakin gets his arm cut off and that's when his insurance battles began.
They're all connected.
It's all connected. Yeah, he had, like, some surgery and then he gets, like, a robotic arm.
Yeah.
It's the FFEU, the FanFiction Extended Universe.
Okay, now we can go into chapter 3. So that's what happened in chapter 2. Anakin lost his arm. We're making progress.
Yes. Then, chapter 3, 10 years later, which I assume makes him, like, 25 in his 20s. And due to the Clone Wars, which had been going on for the 10 years, Naruto and Anakin have matured. And the author goes into great detail about their armor upgrades, how handsome they've gotten, blah, blah, blah. And then in the final chapter, Naruto...
are we gonna skip the lovely photo?
Oh, did we want to go into more detail?
Her description. So, this is what the author says. So they spend, like, a tiny little paragraph saying... Italics, it says, 10 years after the Clone Wars started, Jedi Temple. The Jedi Temple Council Room was currently Jedi Council and 3... Oh, what are those? Three others. They were 2 humans and a Togruta. All of them were Jedi Masters that represented the Order's best. They were Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, and Naruto Uzumaki. In the 10 years that followed the start of the Clone Wars, their appearance had changed somewhat. Anakin now wore slightly armored plates over his tunic and under his cloak. He also got a scar over his right eye. Ahsoka didn't change her clothes much, as the only difference is that she actually covered her stomach, and she carried a Shoto saber. And there's a picture of Ahsoka, and you guys can look at it for yourselves, but it's kind of ridiculous.
It is.
And then they go, nice abs.
And then they go on to describe Naruto again. Naruto had changed his outfit as well. He still had a beady on his shoulder, but his Hayori had been somewhat changed. He no longer wore a vest, as that would make him slightly uncomfortable. But he kept his lightsabers in both of his sleeves with the same mechanism on his vest. His Hayori was now black with blue flames licking the bottom on his sleeves, but on his collar was an orange lightning bolt symbol that was on the edge of his collar, and on the back of his Hayori was a yin-yang symbol with a spiral-like dragon going around it. He now wore a dark gray muscle shirt that still showed off his six-pack. However, he now donned an overshirt that had 4 pockets full of stuff. He'd need to say survive. The 4 pockets. I need to read that sentence. 4 pockets full of stuff he'd need to survive. His pants were now blood red with protective coverings suited, and a streak of black going down from his hip all the way to his shoes, which were black and steel-toed. His utility belt was in the same place and had the same things as before. Same for his guns. The only differences in their bodies were that Anakin and Naruto's faces both got even more handsome than ever. There was more compact but still big muscles on both of them. And Ahsoka folded out into a knockout of a woman with double D cups, slightly bigger behind, with more waistline and more curvier than before.
If that's one thing I know how to describe people, it's that their faces got handsome.
Got more handsome than ever, then there was more compact but still big muscles.
Oh my god.
This is the quality of writing Ollie put us through.
Oh I'm sorry. I wanted to experiment with Wattpad.
And then it goes on to say, over the years, And this is over the 10 years that the Clone Wars happened, supposedly. All of these people have kids, and this is just like a detail of who had children as it goes on. And I guess in this world, Yoda and Yaddle got married and had a baby, which will remain a baby until it's over 100, which I think is a nod to Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
So.
Also, it says that Naruto and Ashoka had gotten married but had no children. It wasn't that they couldn't make one. It was just the fact that they decided that to have one after this war was over. That wasn't to say.
Listeners, we're all looking at the same line, and it's just ridiculous.
I forgot about this.
Okay. That wasn't to say they were still virgins, as they had celebrated multiple times after winning tough battles with sex.
Oh my god.
I'm crying.
Oh my goodness.
So, there's that.
There's that. Just so you know, they aren't virgins. They have celebratory
Oh my
sex.
gosh.
Sounds like something a virgin would say.
Okay. So the final chapter of Naruto figures out that the Chancellor Palpatine is the Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Which really means nothing to me. But they really
Jedi.
kind of just the evil Jedi. And they kind of threw this in pretty quickly. Like, there's nothing leading up to this point of like, did any deductive reasoning to this? But Naruto, he fights the Sith Lord, aka Chancellor Palpatine, and arrests him under the suspicion of being responsible for the Clone War.
I think they all live happily ever after.
I think, yeah. And then, after 10 years, the Clone Wars end, and everyone lives happily ever after.
Also,
the end.
Except us.
Yeah.
Except us.
So Naruto, they're like, the council's like, we gotta find out who the Sith Lord is, and Naruto's like, it's the Chancellor, and everyone's like, okay.
Like, huh?
I know.
Like,
I was like, how did he figure that out?
How on
And it
earth?
works.
Yeah, how on earth did he know? Also, so, they're, this is very much an AU. So, it's 10 years after the Clone Wars. Anakin is married to Padme because they changed all of the Jedi rules. So Jedis can just, get married now. It's just, I guess he's just not Darth Vader anymore. That. Why did he not become Darth Vader? There's just no explanation. It's just oh, by the way, they have 2 kids now, and they're good. It's oh, okay. But yeah, so they changed, all of the Jedi rules. Due to the resurfacing of the Sith, the Jedi Council have decided to change a few of the past regulations and rules. First is that the age limit of children entering the Order have been lifted to any age under 18. Second is the rule that a Jedi youngling must not learn multiple styles, and other restrictions on practical strength have been lifted. We made an exception for you two, talking to Naruto and Anakin, because of your midichlorian count, but we'll need that strength in others later on. Third is the restriction on archives stating that only a Padawan, Knight, or Master can enter, and so whatever. Fourth is the rule that Jedi must wear robes and an overtunic or whatever. And now Jedi can wear whatever they want. And also, they can get married. I started paraphrasing because I don't want to read the rest of this. So it's they just changed, the author just changed everything about being a Jedi. It's except for the fact that they have the Force. That's the only thing that they didn't change.
I love how they change everything about being a Jedi to justify Naruto's outfit. The fact that he advanced as quickly as he did in the show, and to give him a love interest that you could have a happily ever after with. It was very forced.
Also, so here's the thing: is he did not need a love interest. Ahsoka,
No.
I don't think she said a single word in this entire story.
No, she did. They had
She
before the body description, there was like a really awkward like chat between them. It was so awkward and forced.
Yeah. Well, this is like chapter 2.
Yeah, it was chapter 2.
When they get on the ship,
right,
and they're like...
right before the 3 days. It's like their first conversation or something.
And that's the first and last, I think.
That's the first and last time they talk. I would read it, but it's very painful to to read.
It's a little bit cringy. It's like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah, they don't talk like real people. It's it's like two robots trying to have a conversation, but their algorithms weren't quite structured right to make sense of it.
Yeah. So the thing about the pictures that
Yes.
So they're talking about what lightsabers that Naruto has, and they just say, instead of like describing the lightsaber, like they start to describe it, but then they're just like, both of his lightsabers look like this, and then show a picture of a lightsaber handle, and it's like, okay, what? Like, it was just so weird and out of nowhere. Like,
yeah, the fact that the author broke the story, like, to interrupt, being like, this is what it looks like.
They did that multiple times, because they did that with Ahsoka, the first picture of her. They start describing her, and they're like, and she looks like this.
It's like, okay.
Yeah,
great.
no, they said she often wore this, and it's just...
Oh, that's right. They said she often wore this.
Like, here it is.
Here's the outfit. Got tired of writing.
And then the ship they were in looked like this, and there's the picture of the ship, and just, oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I felt like I was losing my mind reading this.
I felt like I was too. Like, I felt like I wasn't understanding things, and then I realized this is that 2008 style writing.
Yes.
That just lists what happens instead of you actually experiencing any moments.
Yeah, this was some middle school flashbacks that I didn't need.
It was kind of nostalgic reading it, honestly, for me. Like, yeah.
I mean,
you are the outlier here.
It was nostalgic, but I think for the wrong reasons.
Oh, for sure.
Because it reminded me of the Fig That Shall Not Be Named hardcore. Because they both had, like, yeah, well, we won't even compare them. But
yeah, and
God,
like I wanted to like this story solely because of Naruto, and that's essentially why I picked this story. I'm like, oh, Naruto and Star Wars? Like,
I know, right?
What could go wrong?
Because I was thinking when I was looking for stories, because like you, Ollie, I don't know much about Star Wars, so I need to find something that'll make me like and be invested in this fandom. So it totally makes sense. I would be so excited about a Naruto Star Wars fanfic. It's just this one, there's like no Naruto in it. Yeah,
it's just his name. And that's it. And also what like low key made me angry is that he wasn't in his orange jumpsuit.
No, at no point was he in his orange jumpsuit.
And I'm like, but like orange is his identity.
Yeah, orange, blue, and white.
And like, oh, he had an orange light bolt or something on him. And I'm like, that's it.
But he doesn't even have lightning powers.
He doesn't. So like I
think he was like a wind type. I think that was his element. But
I mean, I think so, but
like he's a Pokemon.
Another thing. I was gonna say, is Naruto a Pokemon?
Another thing is, in this story, I felt like in the fights, they were like Pokemon fights. So like Naruto uses sixth form. His opponent tries to block it. Yeah, like you're playing like the old style Pokemon video games where like use
honestly,
quick attack.
These forms, the freaking fighting forms or whatever they are, that was the part that I skimmed through the most, because I was like, it was like the story kept like jumping forward in time, and it was like 1 year later, Naruto is getting better in form 1, 2, and 4, and he's also good at 3, and he's also good at 5, and also 6 and 7. And it's like, but every time they jumped forward, they kept saying that Naruto was
I know, and he like gained
age.
even more skills, like, and now he's good at survival training, and now he can heal people, and
he's still super good at form 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1.
Guys, we're not even making this up. This is literally how they say stuff. So I found one. His Form 2 had become rather exceptional. Form 6 was so-so with him, but he could do it quite well. Form 3 was also quite good. The same could be said about Form 4, but the form that he's shown the most was Form 5 because he could give most Jedi Knights a run for their money. In addition to that, his force abilities and physical conditions were top-notch.
Yeah.
Ugh, and that was like every other paragraph.
It's like every time he aged, that was like how they began it. Like, oh, he's now stronger because he's advanced in this.
And I don't remember, Ollie, if you described this, but for the first 2 chapters, the prologue and the first chapter, they like section off little bits of it in terms of Naruto's age. And so there's like maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs per age bit as he's growing up and learning stuff, and it's just like lists of this.
Yeah.
Of just his forms improving and gaining more skills, and he's just like turning into an OP Naruto, which I guess is one of the tags. So the author was correct in their tagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, OP is overpowered.
Yes.
And Mary Sue is like, they can do no wrong. There's like everything
just, like,
they do is
the perfect
right.
Character. Everyone loves
they're
them.
a perfect person ever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there really wasn't any like struggle with this character. Like he just kept excelling.
He was like the worst version of One Punch Man.
Yeah, I can see that.
That is a reference I do not understand.
No, because One Punch Man, like, the entire show, all this... Do you watch One Punch Man at all, Tstan?
Of course not.
Tstan, first off, you should watch One Punch Man. Ollie,
no, you shouldn't. No. I've seen, like, maybe 5 episodes. Don't watch it.
It's so good. It is so funny.
It's terrible.
It is so good. But, like, in the show, like, all this stuff goes down... And he ends a fight with one punch. So it's like there shouldn't even be an episode because you know he's just going to defeat whatever comes at him.
Yeah, that's why I don't
punch.
like it.
No, but that's what makes it funny. And it's like Naruto has the same thing where like he's just going to take everything down. But I mean, not even anything interesting happens in the meantime when he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike in One Punch Man where silly, cool, fun stuff happens.
Yeah, and I think that was, like, my struggle with this is that there's no, like, arc to the story.
There was no
arc. It's just a timeline of events, then chapter 3 hits, and you think it's gonna come to, like, a head, but then it's just like, oh.
Completely
wars happened, Naruto outs this guy, and he gets under arrest, he goes to jail, whatever, and then happily ever after, and you're like, oh, alright, that's it?
Yeah. What's next?
Oh, God.
I mean, we kind of discussed characters.
We did.
Yeah,
and the writing.
We like just went through everything.
Yeah, we kind of covered
we kind of did.
And then how well did they stick to the fandom? They didn't.
They didn't.
I mean, they did because if instead of it being an alternate universe AU, which I don't think it was either of those things. I think it was just a Mary Sue Star Wars story.
But it didn't even stick to Star Wars.
They didn't stick to Star Wars. Like, that's...
I mean, they did a little bit. They kept the characters.
You don't know anything about Star Wars.
Lightsabers.
Yeah, no, like...
Yeah, that's about all in the forms. The different lightsaber combat forms.
I don't know. I have never heard anything about the lightsaber combat forms. Like, I don't even know where that came. Maybe it came from, like, the cartoon or something. But I don't know nothing about that. So they extended the Clone Wars to 10 years. Anakin did not become Darth Vader for no reason. And then everyone got married. Jedis got married. It's like, what?
You know, Jedi's getting married.
Oh my god. No, they did not stick to the fandom.
So I do have a question. Do the colors of lightsabers mean anything other than red being evil?
No. There's something about getting a crystal and it resonates with your...
The Kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Okay, because, like,
Yeah.
do you have to go on, like, a spiritual journey to get your crystal? Because I don't know if you guys remember the part where Naruto went into the cave looking for crystals.
Like, the gathering.
He had, like, a fever dream, and some lady was yelling at him.
I mean, I remember that part, but, like, I don't know it, like, freaking, like, I don't know, Luke and like, he just was handed a lightsaber, like, here.
Luke wasn't in this story.
I can hear the rage.
I'm just like, this story doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
Basically, it's something from the extended universe.
The colors?
It's a thing.
Or how they get lightsabers?
Both.
Okay.
But the colors do mean something. Do I know what? No, of course not.
Should we look this up? Should we look up?
Well, I know that the purple lightsaber means that Samuel L. Jackson.
I know that's like all I know is that the purple one belongs to Samuel L. Jackson, and his trainer was Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, the only reason why it was purple was because Samuel L. Jackson wanted a purple lightsaber. That's the reason.
And
they were like, okay.
Yeah. So let's read the comments. Let's see. Eternal King Zio said, "Please make another story." And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Corp fan said, "More, please. I like this story." Those were the only comments.
There was a reply
to
the Eternal King Zio, which is, "If this story is done, of course."
Oh, so you just outed yourself as having a Wattpad account?
Oh yeah, I made a Wattpad account like 5 years ago.
Who are you?
Hey, this was 5 years ago, because like everyone was like, "Oh, Wattpad." I was like, "What is Wattpad?"
Nobody was saying that 5 years ago.
Well, I will say to defend Ollie just a little bit. You used to have an account to read anything.
I don't know, but I signed in with Facebook and it remembered my information.
Facebook will never let you go now. Yeah, it was the only site that wasn't blocked on the Job Corps computers. So
yeah, because no one knows about it.
Exactly.
They don't know what a dangerous place Wattpad is.
Like a year and a half later,
they block it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did the comments. What else? I don't even know, like, what else.
Where are we? What are we doing?
I think we're down to just rating this.
What are my comments?
I'm like emotionally exhausted.
I know, this is like Okay, so I guess we should give this a rating, guys. I know what mine is. Should I just go first?
Yeah, go first, ahead. Please.
Go for it.
I give this a 1.
Oh my god!
And I will give it a 1. And the 1 point is for Wattpad's UI.
Go ahead.
I will also give it a 1. Because gestures broadly at everything.
It was a mess. It was a definite mess.
I am also going to give it a 1. Because, you know.
Also gestures
Naruto.
Broadly at everything.
Mostly that second picture.
Oh,
of
that
Ashoka.
second picture was ridiculous.
So that.
All
Folks,
right.
if you are under a certain age, just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't.
I am going to give this a 1.5.
So generous.
Ooh.
Such a giving soul.
I do think the author had a good concept. It could have gone somewhere. I say she, but they just didn't execute well. And that 0.5 is just stemming from the journey that this story took us on. and how, it was a journey.
That's a good word for it.
And Naruto is in it. Name only, but Naruto gives extra points.
The title Naruto was stolen and slapped onto this Mary Sue.
Yes. Naruto the Jedi Master. Was that what it's called?
Jedi Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster.
Was he didn't even end up becoming a Grandmaster in this.
No.
He never got to the Grandmaster phase.
No. So yes, 1.5 lightsabers from me. Thank you for listening to the FanFiction Book Club. Our pick this week was Naruto, the Future Jedi Grandmaster by lucarioacero. You can find this story and more of the author's work on wattpad.com. Theme song is Funkorama by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of Kevin's music on incompetech.philmusic.io/artist/Kevin-MacLeod. The works discussed on the FanFiction Book Club are not our own. All characters mentioned belong to the original authors. Until next week.